Alrighty, we're going to be doing the signs of the laws of sines. For this, all you need to know is that angle A plus angle B plus angle C is 180 degrees, which you should know. Also, that sine of A over the side of A should be proportional or equal to sine of B over the side of B should be equal to sine of C over the side of C. So they're going to give you drawings and some problems, not drawings and other problems. Now, for laws of sine and cosines, your angles, your triangles are not right. They're just a random triangle with no right angle. So the first example here, and that's the only formulas that you need to know to be able to do this. So the rules for this one are easy, or the formulas. The cosine ones are a little bit more complicated. So example number 1, solve the triangle. So let's say for problem number 1, they're going to give you a picture. It looks like this. If this is little a, then this has to be angle what? Angle A. If this is little b, this is B, and then this is C, so this is little c. And if, I know it might look like a 90-degree angle, but it's not. Now, they tell us that this is 95, and they also tell us, and I already wrote the answers out to my They also tell you that this is 40. And that C is 5. So that is the only information that they give you. So angle A is 40. Angle C is 95. And side C is 5. So because you have to look for which one did they give you both for. So they give me both for C. So I know that sine of 95 over 5. And who is the next that you're closest to figure out? A, right? So we have sine of 40 over little a. So then you just cross multiply. This becomes a sine of 95 equals 5 sine of 40. So if you want to solve for a, what do I have to divide by? Sine of 95. So then I find out 5 sine of 40 divided by sine of 95, what is it? 3.55? No, just kidding. 3.23. Yes, okay. 3.23. That's the answer. So I found little a, but can I find little b? But in order to find little b, I at least need to know the angle. Can you figure out the angle? Yes, because you already have 2, 95 plus 40. So in order to find big B, I have 180 minus 95 minus 40, which gives me that B is 45 degrees. Very good. So now that I know that this is 45, I'm still going to use sine of 95 over 5 equals sine of 45 over little b. And you do exactly the same steps. Exactly the same steps. All right, so continuing on. You lost it?
Yeah,
To who?
I have no idea.
Must have-
Right today, it was,
So you misplaced it. You didn't lose it.
I lost it.
Yeah. Alrighty, so what is your B going to be? 3.55. So at the very end, you should get 3.55. So you got B, you got little a, little b, and big B, and those are the three things that were missing. Now let's do one more. Give me 1 second. Exactly. Okay, go ahead and do this one on your own. This is 5 degrees. This is 10 degrees, and you can't see anything, sorry. And this is 5. And they want you to find little a, little b, and angle C. This is 10. Yes, so it's 5, 10, and a 5. 5, 10, 5. So work on that one, figure out your a, little b, little c, and then I'll put them right there in a little bit. I'll give you the answers. It's just using what should be the first thing you figure out? The last angle, because that is the only side that you have. So if this is 5, this is 10, I need to figure out that C is what? 165. So now using this 165 degrees, you should be able to figure things out. So this way you set them up, you cross multiply, and A is 3.35, and B is 1.68. I got 1.68, but I might be wrong. Somebody else do it. Because it is 5 sine of 10 divided by sine of 165. I already did that one. 5 sine of 5 divided by sine of 165. You still got 1.68? I don't know. It might be, but I mean, I plugged it in now that you could see it because of this crazy calculator. But anyways, those are two things that I got. So when they're giving you a triangle, it is? Okay. So they could give you a triangle, or they could just tell you A is this, B is this, and you draw the triangle and you figure out where things go. Are we okay with that? Yeah? Now, we're going to try one difference because they give you two sides and one angle. So what do you do there? So for C, they're going to tell you A is 3, B is 2, and angle A is 50 degrees. So you draw your triangle, it doesn't matter how, just draw a triangle. I'm going to label that A, that B, that C, little a, little b, little c. You put in the information that they give you. A is 3, B is 2, and angle A is 50 degrees. So which one do you know both to? The A, right? So this becomes sine of 50 over 3. And I am looking for sine of B, but I know that the side is 2. So for this one, when you cross multiply, it becomes 2 sine of 50 degrees equals to 3 sine of B. What do you have to do to figure out the sine? Divide by 3, but when you calculate this, because we're looking for an angle, you need to make sure you do the inverse. The inverse of 2 sine of 50 over 3. And when you do that, what do you get for your angle? 30.7? Yes? No? I could. Okay, because I got 30.7. If we only do 2. This is the only thing that we need to be careful, because once you get to these problems, some of them are going to be, there's 2 triangles within one. So you're going to have a multiple choice where it says there's only 1 triangle or there's 2. So it could be this, or what is 180 minus 30.7? That is 149.3. Now, how do you know if you're going to have 1 or 2 triangles? So what you're going to have to do is take angle A plus B and make sure that it is less than 180. So A here is 50 plus the 30.7. Is that less than 180? Yes, so the 30 is going to work. But what is 50 plus 149.3? That's going to go over 180, so we don't use this one. Not allowed. We forget about the 149. I'm going to do one where you're going to have to use both, so you can see the difference. So then I already know that angle B is 30.7. So B is 30.7. That tells me that C is going to be 180 minus 50 minus 30.7. That tells me that C is what? 99.3. So I know my B, I know my C, I already know my little a, my little b, but who am I still missing? Little c. So I'm still going to use sine of 50 over 3 equals to sine of 99.3 over c. And then you cross multiply. So c sine of 50 equals 3 sine of 99.3. Divide by sine of 50. And c is, when I put that in there, 3.86. So I have found all 3 parts. And I think we are going to stop after this one, but there's one more problem where you're going to have to use both because there's 2 triangles. So please keep, this is a way you need to check if you're going to have to use both or just one. So for D, which is the last problem for this section, they give you A is 6, B is 8, and A is 35. So I'm gonna draw the triangle. Now please understand, you don't have to draw them. I just like to do it just because. Little a, little b, little c. I know this guy is 8. I know this guy is 6. And I know this guy is 35 degrees. So for sure I need to use who? Sine of 35 over 6 equals, I don't know who that is, but we will find out in a little bit. So I'm using b because we know little b is 8. This becomes 8 sine of 35 equals to 6 sine of b. Divide by 6. But because you're looking for the angle, you need to use the inverse. 8 sine of 35 over 6. And this gives me 49.9 is correct. But please remember, I have to try 180 minus 49, which is 130.1. So I need to check if both of those work, and once again, I need a plus b has to be less than 180. Your a is 35 plus 49.9. Is this going to be less than 180? Yes. Now 35 plus 130.1, is this less than 180? Yes. So this is going to split your problem into two. So this is going to be my b sub 1, and this is going to be my b sub 2. Because now I have two triangles. Yay me, yay us, right? So how would you find c? For c sub 1, it's 180 minus 35 minus 49.9. For angle for the other one, minus 35 and minus 130.9. So this one becomes what? 95.1 degrees. This is for c sub 1. And the other one is 14.9 degrees for c sub 2. So, and just in case, b sub 1 was 49.9, b sub 2 was 130.1, and the a is for both. A is 35 and a is 35. So at least you have all the angles right there. So once again, why do we have two triangles? Because both of these would equal less than 180. And then you have to go and find your little c. So I'm going to use sine of 35 over 6 equals to sine of 95.1 over little c sub 1. And then you also have to do sine of 35 over 6 equals sine of 14.9 to find c sub 2. And after you do those calculations, and I'm just going to give you the answer, but c sub 1 is 10.42. C sub 2 is going to be a 2.69. So this here is it for 8.2. We'll stop there. So today we worked on 7.7, 8.1, and 8.2. On the 5th, 11/5, and you could Make sure you have those due dates. 8.3 will also be due on 11/7, but this is what we're gonna cover on Thursday, along with do the quiz over, I think it's 8.1 through 8.3, and we'll probably do that one in class. So in case you guys are stuck, you can ask questions and we can make sure everybody does good. So I'm thinking more than likely your test is going to be on the 14th, I believe. It's gonna be on the 14th. Because on the 12th we would review, maybe, possibly, we'll see. So is everybody okay with this?
Yeah.
I guess, right? You have no choice.
Yes.
Okie dokie.